Hey everybody, it's Stretch the Best, nothing like the rest, back with another reaction video. Today we are reacting to another person I have watched before, but I don't keep up with him like that, but some people do. So I've seen that he posted some new videos I haven't seen yet. So this video was posted 3 days ago. What, 3 days ago? Yeah, 3 days ago. So yeah. Y'all want to see more anime reactions? Like, comment, subscribe, share the channel. We trying to get this shit booming. All right, let's get going. Let's head into it. Viniitube. I ain't heard you in a minute, bro. For real. And y'all want to check the video out, y'all? Damn, I can't talk. Y'all want to check the video out yourself? The link to his channel will be in the description below. And yeah, I'm doing too much talking, my bad. But let's get into it.
We just had a good start to the year, and given the lineup we have, I'm nothing short of excited. Remember back when I made a video on what I feel are the most anticipated non-sequels this year? A good chunk of them happen to come from this season. That's right, we're going to be talking about a number of them in this video and more. So I can't wait to get started, so let's get going. Here are what I think are the top 10 most anticipated...
I do watch anime, but some of these animes I haven't seen before, so...
non-sequels for this spring season. We have My Home Hero for a very exciting start. Parents can be scary, so what a way to start the list, right? When salaryman Tetsuo finds out that his daughter's got physically abused by her boyfriend Matori, it's straight to the abyss for Matori. However, it turns out that only complicates things, as Matori has some connections with the syndicate, and his disappearance turns the vengeful eyes of the syndicate towards the enraged father. Now, Tetsuo and his wife have to work together in order to protect their daughter. It's an unexpected setup for a thriller, but it's one that will surely take you through a very tense and exciting experience. When a single mistake means doom for the entire family, you won't find yourself bored with this show. With no shortage of adrenaline and stakes that only escalate with each passing moment, this has the potential to be a sleeper hit of the season. And if it does end up becoming popular, remember, you heard it here first.
This sounds fire. Because nigga, if I was popping, I would did the same thing. But I probably would have, made sure he wasn't part of no crime shit, because then you coming after my family, now I gotta kill everybody.
Home Hero.
Why Raylina ended up at the Duke's Mansion is our 9th most anticipated title this spring.
Wait, what is this?
Anticipated title this spring. Ended up at the Duke's Mansion is our 9th most anticipated title this spring.
Oh, why she got pushed off the building?
Now, that title's a mouthful, and in true light novel form, it gives you a glimpse of what to expect. Except this time, it's a manhwa adaptation, and it gives an interesting twist to the usual reincarnation stories that we've come to expect. You see, we've come to expect these reincarnated into story characters anime to be about the protagonist playing the role of either the heroine or the villainess. But what if our girl this time ends up being relegated to being a novel's plot device, a minor character whose death sets forth the entire story? No way she'll accept a fate like that, right? With her eyes set on an alternative timeline, she seeks to use her knowledge of future events and the help of the Duke. However, things can't be that easy, especially if she has to use one of the most two-faced characters in the story. Can she overcome the volatile Duke and find her happy ending? We'll all find out this spring in one of the more interesting takes on the reincarnation stories that's been picking up some steam.
Okay. I ain't expecting that from a romance one. It looked kind of good, I ain't gonna lie. And I usually don't watch romance anime, so yeah, it looked good though.
And speaking of being hyped and excited, let me introduce you to the sponsors of this video, Immortal Rising. Yes, it's time to enter the fantastical world of Immortal Rising, which is the hottest idle RPG in town. Let me tell you, the graphics in this game are something else. You'll be blown away by the unique online or offline. You'll be raking in those rewards just by logging in daily. Necromancer making his last stand. As a last resort in Nation Trope and Station Tale this spring, then you play. on the link in the description. Next up is another show that I'm very excited about, Dead Mount Death Play. If you think we'll have just one reincarnation tale this spring, then you're dead wrong. Dead Mount Death Play takes the reincarnation trope and spins it backwards, starring a necromancer making his last stand. As a last resort in the climactic battle against the hero, he manages to escape oblivion and reincarnate into the real world. A world where magic is non-existent is a world ripe for conquering. After all, what can stop our protagonist, now named Polka Shinomiya, who retained his powers from the previous life? It turns out that things might not be so easy in the real world, especially one where he finds himself caught in the crosshairs of not just the police, but the bowels of the underworld. Criminal gangs, police officers, numerous political clashes. Perhaps things might be too much, even for our ex-necromancer to handle. If you've been raring for these reverse isekai titles, Dead Mount Death Play could be your call this season. It gives me some Devil is a Part-Timer vibes, but looking a lot darker and edgier in its execution. How about something sweet and wholesome now with Skip and Loafer?
岩倉光美、15歳。今日から東京の高校生です。
Now there's a saying that goes, the grass is greener on the other side. I'm sure many of us feel that way, especially those living in small towns. I mean, sometimes perhaps you find yourself dreaming of the glamour and fun of being in the big city. Well, you're not alone, as Mitsumi certainly feels the same way too. She wants nothing more than to move on from a town, enter a prestigious university, and make an impact on the world. However, she gets slapped by reality. It turns out that city life is more overwhelming than this naive country girl thought it would be. Thankfully, help is on its way though, as she meets Shima, a laid-back and overly prepared boy who's pretty much her perfect partner. With his help, will Mitsumi be able to overcome the challenges of city life and be the change she wanted in the world? There's only one way to find out, and that's by tuning into this funny and heartwarming tale set to hit the screens this spring.
もう少し肩の力を抜いてもいいんじゃない？その方がきっと楽しいよ。
I never really watched comedy anime. I was mostly shonen. Because that's all I was really introduced to. I knew it was other animes out there, but shonen is like my main thing. Like I watch isekais too, you know, but shonen is pretty much my main thing. But, yeah.
もちろん全校生徒26名の長だったよ。人の心ってわかりません。だから少しずつ。
Next up is a pretty cool isekai title in I Got a Cheat Skill in Another World.
人生に絶望する俺が開いたの。なんだろう、この扉。異世界への扉だった。
Ever wondered what it's like getting all those isekai perks and bringing them back to the real world? That's definitely what awaits Yuya Tenjo. Bullied in his entire life, he wants nothing than to be able to escape into a fantasy world. There he can have all the treasures and power his heart desires. The girls are just an added bonus at this point, but it gets even better when he finds out that he doesn't exactly have to say goodbye to his old life either. Whatever he has in the fantasy world can be brought back, and let's just say that the world will never be prepared for the new and improved Yuya. However, living a double life never comes without a catch, as he soon finds out. How long will this double life of his come biting and changing him forever, for good or for bad? I Got a Cheat Skill and Another World premieres this spring, and you're gonna have to watch it to find out.
レベルアップした俺が2つの世界を輸送する。テレビアニメ「リセレベ」。
We proceed with Insomniacs After School.
夜になると目が冴える。眠れないまま時間だけが過ぎていく。朝が来て今日もまた絶望する。
Anime just has a magical way of connecting with the youth. Social anxiety, insomnia and the like seem to be themes and growing pains that the youth just go through these days. But they say that the grandest magic happens during those twilight hours where people seem to be a lot more focused and attuned with the world around them. It's also a path to closer bonds between two people sharing the dilemma, like Ganta and Asaki can attest. The two complete opposites found a mutual bonding point. Trapped inside a supposedly haunted astronomy club room, the two get forced into interacting working with each other. Forming an unlikely friendship, they find a safe space in each other's presence in the astronomy club room that turns out to be the location of their fated meeting. The two learn to grow through each other's help, and it will be quite a joy seeing the two overcome their personal demons and various setbacks. Insomniac's After School comes this spring, and after seeing what the manga has to offer, I can't wait for this anime.
連絡先を交換したり、マガリがいると眠れなくて退屈な夜も楽しくなる。これってどんな関係だろう？
If you're looking for a post-apocalyptic world of adventure, Heavenly Delusion could be for you.
ここより外はあります。この辺には怪物が出るからね。怪物がうごめく汚れた世界。
人食いだ。僕ら、それ殺せますよ。
Now, that's a really engaging title now, isn't it? It's also a good summary of the premise, where we're treated to a world where the youth are raised by robots. Living inside a paradise, the young ones are protected from the outside world. Now, why would they need to be protected, do you ask? Well, the outside is quite the literal hellscape populated by supernatural beings. Meanwhile, our main duo Maru and Kiruko traverse that world in search of heaven. So where is their journey going to lead them? Will it end with salvation or eternal wandering in the post-apocalyptic world that used to be Tokyo? Now, one half is the basic premise of the Promised Neverland, and on the other perspective, we have a brave adventure through an unknown world. It sounds very promising, and if the trailers are anything to go by, we've got a sleeper hit on our hands this season. It's also a seinen series by Production IG, so my expectations are pretty high for this one. For those who are raring for one of those mature adventure anime filled with mysteries in a sci-fi setting, then don't miss this one. Mashal kicks off our countdown to the top 3.
じいちゃんと平和にシュークリームを食べる。そんな当たり前のこともできない世の中ならぶっ壊すしかないでしょ。グーパンで。
Society has long taught us that going against the norm spells discrimination. Such a dilemma makes Mash Burndead's existence a perilous one. In a world dominated by magic, his magicless presence warrants purging, and that sends him off to the woods in hiding. But he's no coward, and every day he spends time training himself, raising his skills to be able to take on the strongest spellcasters in the world with only his physical strength. Now, if he doesn't have power, he'll still force society to acknowledge him, and that's by becoming the Divine Visionary. And the road to that begins at Eastern Magic Academy, one of the most elite schools containing the best and the brightest amongst the world's aspiring magicians. With such a huge hurdle ahead, Mash has his work cut out for him. Will his training be enough? Everyone likes a lovable underdog story, and in a title that looks like it can give some One Punch Man vibes, I'm sure that a lot of us will have a good time with this one. Mashal's definitely one of the shows to look out for.
まったく、マッシュ君はしょうがないですね。そんなところも好きですよ、私は。
さてと、そろそろ一筋肉動かしますか。マッシュル。
Ranked second on this list is Oshinoko. リアルアイ超かわいい。だねー。推しのアイドルが妊娠しとる。Idol fans are a wild bunch. They've got huge ambitions in getting close to their ideal girls, but I doubt that anyone can have the privilege that Goro has with regards to his favorite idol, Ai Hoshino. Being honored is an understatement. When you get to be the one to help her give birth, the poor doctor gets the chance of a lifetime snapped away by his untimely death. Well, so he thought so. When he opens his eyes, he realizes that instead of simply just dying, he'd become Ai's newborn child. While it may seem like a world of fun, Goro also learns more about the ins and outs of the idol life, the thorns that pave the path to glory, so to speak. Fret not, however, for Goro will make sure to protect his favorite idol's smile, even if he has to enlist the aid of some unlikely allies along the way.
Just imagine you get killed and you turn into your idol's child. Like, that is insane. That is actually insane.
Oshinoko finally gets its long-awaited anime adaptation, a fan favorite for a very long time. We'll get to see it hit the screens this spring.
君の幸せがそれだって言うなら従おう。だって君はどうしようもないほどアイドルで、僕はどうしようもないほど君のファンだ。
Lastly, our number one most anticipated anime for spring is Hell's Paradise.
Now, I haven't read the manga to this, but I I heard this is heat, and it's being done by one of my favorite animation studios, Mappa. So I'm hyped for this one.
罪ってよ。
どうすれば迷いも恐れもない心になれる。
My fault, y'all. The video had cut off. I'm gonna just fix that later.
これは弱さだ。全く厄介だ。心ってやつだ。
Betrayed and sentenced for execution, death is all that awaits Gabimaru the Hollow. Unfortunately, he's someone who just simply can't die, and I mean it literally. Luckily, an immortal criminal looking for freedom like him still has some use. You see, south of Japan lies an island which is said to contain the elixir of life. In exchange for his freedom and full pardon by the shogunate, he has to retrieve the said treasure, even if he has to go through the gates to the afterlife to do it. Together with an expedition team, Gabimaru the Hollow prepares to embark on his perilous journey. Looking to return to his wife, he refuses to let any obstacle stand in his way. Still, given such an insanely huge reward, one has to wonder if this island and the dangers that lie within can turn out to be more than a match for the immortal assassin and his ragtag team of misfits. Thrills, action, adventures, a group of characters that are easy to root for. Hell's Paradise has it all. As long as we get a competent adaptation, this is easily going to be one of the season's biggest hits. And with Mappa on the reins for this one, I'm sure it's going to be a banger.
Yeah.
忍術が見たいと言ってたな。とくといいよ。忍法非暴死。
If you like what you've seen, do check out the channel for other videos that you might like, or keep in touch through the various social media channels. And don't forget to check out Immortal Rising through the link in the description and experience the ultimate.
Alright, y'all. I'm gonna start the video right here. That was Viniitube with top 10 most anticipated new anime of spring 2023. Alright. So that was pretty cool. Honestly, most of those animes I had never heard of. Except for number one, because I've heard about its release. But like I said, I haven't read the manga or anything, but I heard it's pretty fire. But like I said, I'm gonna end the video right here. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Get the channel booming, y'all. And Stretch the Best out.